Hello, beautiful specimen, and welcome back to my channel, or to my channel. Today we're doing things a little different. As you can see, I have one eye already done. Mostly. I don't have lashes or mascara or anything like that on. But I don't have a separate thing to look at a reference photo like I did at the old place I was at. So, I did one eye off camera, and I will do this eye on camera. Yes, I am cheating with stickers. Fight me. I'm not trying to draw a star. Anyways, I'm here with Ray again, and without further ado, let's get into it.
Am I the a-hole for showing my sister the same amount of care she showed me when my ex-boyfriend turned out abusive?
Okay.
My older sister Anna has always been opinionated and judgmental. She sees the world in black and white and barely shows empathy towards people, even her own family, unless they're exactly like her. She doesn't agree with my choices, can't understand I want kids and be a stay-at-home mom. She doesn't just understand. She critiques it at every turn. She gets to the point my husband can't stand her and has banned her from our house, and we don't allow her kids to spend time with her. Okay. I've never liked her, and the highest point of me not liking her was back when I was in college. I got in a relationship with Rob. I thought he was perfect. He seemed kind, funny, attractive. I won't get into words, but that relationship went from good to absolutely terrible. It only stopped when I called the cops on him and he was arrested. And I finally had the courage to leave and tell my family and friends. When I told Anna, I'm sure you can guess her reaction. She had no sympathy and asked why I haven't seen the signs. He was sure I was ignoring them to have a hot bad boy boyfriend. And said, look where that's gotten me. I didn't argue with her, frankly. I was tired. I told her when she gets in an abusive relationship to never call, since the only thing I'd do to her is just laugh at her. I stopped trying with her and just focused on my husband, kids, and my two other sisters. Now into the present. Anna's husband of 7 years put his hands on her a couple days back. I don't know the full story, but basically they were arguing, and he ended up slapping her mid-fight as well as calling her horrible names. She left and went to our parents, and they called the cops on her behalf. He was arrested. My dad told me this and asked me to bake something for her to cheer her mood up. I told him no. I told him I'm not going to show care to that woman. I mean, she has our parents, I don't typos, and her dog. What more could she need? It was on a call, I guess on loudspeaker, since Anna freaked out and started yelling at me. I told her again, why should I care for a woman that ignored bad signs and got in a relationship with a bad man just because he was a doctor? She was hysterical, and I cut the phone because her voice alone irritates me. My mom called me and said I need to sympathize with her, and she won't talk to me till then. I just said fine. If she's willing to cut me, then she's cutting my husband, kids, for a woman that barely visits them, even when they live only 30 minutes away. My parents haven't talked to me since, and I honestly don't know if I was wrong. I'm tired of being the one that's understanding nice to her when I'm the freaking youngest, and she can't spare a bit of empathy. Am I the a-hole?
No. Like I've said before on this channel, and will probably end up saying again, give what you get what you give. Goes both ways. You want to treat her like garbage and say those things about her, yet you're going to turn around and complain when she says the same thing to you.
This person got deleted, but am I wrong? Daughter overheard a private conversation. Was I careless?
Okay.
Yeah, just making sure there was nothing too bad in there. Daughter, a private conversation between my wife and me was overheard by our teen daughter this morning, and I'm not sure what to do next. After returning from the gym in the garage, after getting out of the car, my wife mentioned that she was feeling better. She had been ill this week, and that we should make time for naughty time later.
Giggity.
Yeah, giggity. She said, if I'm not up to it, I'll help you out at least. I said that her timing was great because seeing her in her swimsuit at the gym gave me a huge urge to do things to her if she's up for that.
Giggity.
Not that one, but yeah. She gave me a smile, raised her eyebrow, but then she realized our teen daughter was standing behind me. She had heard it all, and she was in the garage and we didn't realize. I pretended or hoped she hadn't heard anything, but my wife says she clearly did. I don't know if we should talk to our daughter about it, what she heard, or just leave it alone.
How it's made. That's how she was made. So, I mean, I don't want to hear my family talking about that, but you know, that's just, yeah. You can't tell me she don't know.
It depends on how she's raised, because, like, most teenagers still don't know
If she went to a public school, she knows.
That, yeah, it never says what she goes to.
I'm just saying. I'm getting black everywhere. It's fine.
Am I the butt face for writing a letter and sticking it on my neighbor's door? Am I the a-hole for writing a letter and... Why? I don't know why they did it twice. I, 20F, and my roommate, 22F, have been living in an apartment for over 5 months. We used to live in another apartment, but recently switched because the rent was just getting too much for us to pay. We never had problems with our old neighbors, so we weren't used to neighbors telling us off whenever we made too much noise. A couple of months ago, we were talking in our room, and we heard a bang on the wall. It was from our neighbors telling us to STFU. We stopped talking and went to bed. The following nights, whenever we wanted to talk, we would go into the living room so we wouldn't disturb our neighbors. A couple of days after, they banged on the wall, and we were leaving to go get coffee. When we opened the door, we noticed there was a letter stuck on the door. It said, "Dear neighbors, could you please be more quiet after 11 p.m.? Since we have to get up early for work, and we try to be quiet as possible for you as well, since our bedrooms are connected. We respect that, and apologize that we were being inconsiderate." Fast forward 2 months. Last night, I was laying in bed, and my roommate was sleeping on the couch on the living room since she got sick and didn't want for me to catch her cold. I was laying in bed, silently just scrolling through TikTok, wearing headphones. I heard 3 bangs on the wall. It was the neighbors telling us to STFU again. But I got confused since no one was making noise, but I didn't say anything. This morning at around 7:30 in the morning, I was asleep and kept hearing birds right outside my window, but drifted back to sleep 3 minutes later. I heard the loudest bangs ever, and honestly, I was freaking terrified. I thought someone was coming to murder us, and I know it sounds stupid, but I was half asleep. So I decided to do the same thing that they did to us and write a letter to them as well. I wrote, "Dear neighbors, I understand that from our previous encounters that the noise that was coming from our side this morning may have sounded like we were doing something, but we just wanted to inform you that we don't have control of birds and don't ask them to bother you on purpose. Please refrain from making noise that early in the morning since you scared us half to death this morning. Respectfully, the neighbors next to you." So am I the butt face for doing that?
No. That's quite funny. And you can only expect so much if you live in an apartment. Like, there's gonna be noise, and if they're literally not making a sound, are you sure that you're talking to the right neighbor? If you're losing your mind over the sound. Because you never know. But unless they got hearing aids and they're cranked all the way up, there should have been no reason for that.
Even then, depending on how loud they were listening to on the headphones, I don't think they would have heard the headphones. The birds are a different story, but the headphones.
Yes, let me just control the birds.
Like control Mother Nature.
I mean, to be fair, you can't get crows to only like you.
But that's a crow.
Mm-hmm. A crow's a bird? Are you telling me a crow is not a bird?
No. They're spiders.
It's pigeons.
Oh yeah, true. They're not real. Am I the a-hole for leaving my 5-month-old baby with my guy for the first time since having birth? For clarification, my guy is my baby's father.
Baby daddy.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's baby daddy or just baby's father, because baby daddy means you're typically not with said person anymore.
Not necessarily.
I said typically. So I'll read the top part later because I guess that's an update.
Okay.
So I decided that I want to meet up with a female friend for dinner without bringing my baby. I made sure that I changed and breastfed baby before leaving. I wrote down instructions on how to prepare the bottle and pureed food for my partner.
Pureed.
Pureed, thank you. So he would be at ease. I even wrote down that he should call if he has any issues. I only managed to pump one bottle and I had 200 milliliters worth of frozen pumped milk in the freezer. I didn't think it would be necessary to let my partner know about the frozen milk, as I knew I wouldn't be gone for more than 3 hours, but I had it in the freezer for backup if he called. Backstory: my partner goes to the gym every day after work and only comes home around 6:30 p.m. Even while I was on maternity leave, he continued going to the gym and coming back home late. Sometimes he would go meet up with his friends and only come home after 10 p.m. Other times he would tell me minutes prior that he would be dropping off his mom in a different town, which then led to him coming back late at night. So since he usually does this own thing and comes back whenever he feels like it, I thought it wouldn't be a problem for me to leave the house for the first time without the baby to have dinner with my friend. In total, I left at 7 p.m. and arrived home at 10:30 p.m. Boy, did my partner lash out at me. He first put off his phone when I tried to call him shortly after I had left to check up on the baby. I noticed that he turned his calls off, so I sent a message on WhatsApp and asking how the baby is. He responded, "She's fine." I responded, "Alright, awesome. Should I bring you food?" He didn't respond for over an hour and a half. He then sent a message just before 9 telling me that the baby is crying nonstop. I responded at 10 asking how the baby is now and didn't get a response. I figured it wasn't that bad as he hadn't called since he sent the message about the baby crying. While I was driving home about to pull up to our place, he called yelling at me, "Where are you? The baby is crying. Where are you?" Before I could respond, he hung up on me. When I got home, he was fuming, telling me, "What kind of mother am I going out when I have a baby to breastfeed at home and that the baby has been crying for an hour?" He yelled at me and started banging the doors and throwing stuff like his charger and phone case, and I calmly responded, "I'm sorry, I didn't know. I thought you would have called. I have frozen breast milk in the fridge." He stormed out and came back 3 hours later and slept in the other bedroom. When I woke up this morning, he seemed upset still, as he hasn't spoken to me. It's almost evening time now, and I'm still being given the silent treatment. So I wanted to know: am I the a-hole?
No. Some people are not meant to be parents. He is one of those people.
I mean, considering whenever she was on maternity leave, he still was doing his own thing.
And it sounds like she didn't even complain about that.
The first time since she had the baby, so 5 months. That's the one time that she wants to go hang out with a friend. And that's a big issue.
It was only a couple hours, and, like, it's not like she didn't tell him what to do. Or, like, say that he couldn't call, like, don't call me, don't text me. She didn't do none of that.
So, here's a short little update. Edit: my guy is the baby's father. Thank you for your insightful comments. I've been in the process of an exit plan, financially and mentally preparing.
Good.
I just wanted to understand things from his ridiculous perspective. I'm glad to see such responses. We eventually tried to speak, and he basically still doesn't see anything wrong with his treatment towards me regarding this. I was still being yelled at, etc. I'm done fighting a losing battle, and I refuse to let my baby grow up in a toxic environment. If money grew on trees, I would have moved out yesterday.
Good on you, baby girl. Get the f*** out. Great. It's fine.
I don't understand how to find this person's other post.
Is it in the comments?
No, because it's a whole new post for the update. So I might have to click on their post, or their account to find the post. I'm doing that real quick.
I'll just speed through it.
Oh.
Does it already have to?
Okay, I'll just find it, because that one's not one to speed through. That has 3 updates.
Oh my.
Alright.
Do they have a TLDR to them?
No.
Oh, yeah, okay.
They do not. Am I wrong? My daughter is sad because I attended my niece's art showcase instead of her theater showcase. My daughter, 15F, had her school winter showcase last weekend. It wasn't a full play, but a collection of scenes and monologues from different performances that drama students had been working on. My daughter had a good role in one of the featured scenes and was really excited about it. While she never outright asked me to be there, I knew it was important to her. The issue was that my niece, 16F, had her first big art showcase the same night. My sister's husband passed away when my niece was little, and since then I've stepped in when I can. My niece is incredibly talented in painting, and this was her first time having her work displayed in a real gallery alongside other student artists. My niece made it clear leading up to the event that she really wanted me to be there. I had already told her beforehand that I couldn't come because I was going to my daughter's showcase, and while she said she understood, I could tell she was sad. The night before the event, however, she called me and broke down in tears, telling me how much it would mean for her to have me there. She said that she felt like this was one of the biggest moments of her life, and wanted me to be proud of her the way a dad would be. That completely shattered me. It felt like if I didn't go, I would be letting her down in a way that would stay with her for a long time. So after the call, I spoke with my daughter and my wife and asked them if I can go to my niece's showcase. And they did give me the go-ahead. However, the day after the event, my daughter was really sad and upset. I did feel guilty, but I also did ask for permission from both her and my wife before I decided to go to my niece's showcase.
I'm sorry, but they're not gonna tell you no if she was crying on the phone to you. Anyways.
My wife, however, told me that I should have stuck to my original plan regardless, and that our daughter has even cried a few times since her showcase. Am I wrong?
Yes. Also, there was a way that you could probably go to both, even if they started at the same time. And you didn't even try to do that. Like, I get you got permission. No person is going to... No, and she's not even your daughter. I get that she doesn't have a father, but, like, she's not even your daughter, and you're treating her over your daughter. No. Find a way to go to both if you feel so bad, but your daughter was excited for you to be there, and then you had to backtrack because your niece was crying to you on the phone, which, if you're the only one that she has that's a father figure, I get why you would feel bad. But, like, you already had other obligations, and you definitely could have gone to both, even if it's not for a long time at the art show, or staying for your daughter's specific performance, and then going to the art show. Like, there's workarounds, but okay.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are saying that they are the a-hole for abandoning their daughter. And then they're like, I understand the whole being proud of her like a dad would.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong. But
you can also be proud from a distance.
Yeah. This one's a bit of a long one, so I'll have a good time for that one. Alright, this one's shorter. Am I the a-hole for not telling my uncles we won't inherit anything? Before my 18M grandma passed away, she and I had an arrangement. She gave me money to buy horror novels, and I read them to her twice a week. We spent a fair amount of time together. During one of our last sessions, she confided in me that she wanted to leave all of her money to charities, but decided to leave a college fund for my cousin 16F, since Uncle Harry lost a massive part of his savings through gambling. The guy thought he could recover all he lost by making a big bet on Mike Tyson, but then Jake Paul won, so he ended up losing even more. Grandma asked me to not tell anyone about this, and I didn't. I kept my mouth shut. When my dads and uncles found out, they reacted in different ways. Dad wasn't really that surprised since Grandma was rather charitable, especially in her later years. Uncle Henry was grateful for the fund, but Uncle John was quite upset, saying that she's their mother and should have left them something. All of them got suspicious and asked me if Grandma told me about this during one of our afternoons I spent at her place. I admitted that I knew about it, and Uncle John said I should have told them first instead of letting them find out this way. That it wouldn't hurt so much if he had time to prepare instead of being caught off guard.
Whatever. I don't believe it. I don't believe that it would have been any different, because if she was still alive when you found out, you would have gone to her and complained.
But I see it's the grandma's money to give away.
It's not even any of their business if OP happened to know or not.
But I'm just saying, like, because one of them was upset that she was giving the money to charity, since I don't think the person ever said that they were giving the money to the cousin. So I don't know if they found out about that or
I
if
think
found
they
out about
did, based off of
charity.
the one uncle's reaction.
Well, the dad said that she's a charitable person. That's why I was like, I don't know.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter. People are allowed to do with their money what they want. Why do I keep getting makeup literally everywhere on my hand? Oh, Jesus, I didn't mean to do that.
You got time for another shorter one?
Yes.
Okay. Am I the a-hole for being touchy with my best friend who's a guy? It all depends on what the scenario is.
Yeah.
If they're both single, go for it. If not, then no. So I, 20F, have a best friend, 20M, who I'm super close with. We've always been really affectionate with each other. We cuddle, have sleepovers in the same bed, sit close, etc. It's pretty much always been like this, and we've never done more than pecks on the lips, and we've only done this in private.
Okay.
We're just touchy with each other. No big deal. Recently, though, another friend of ours, let's call her Sarah, confronted me about it. She called it crossing boundaries, and that I shouldn't be leading him on with all this physical affection. I've gotten a comment here or there from other friends, but it really seems to be bothering Sarah, and I don't know why. All she's told me is that she feels bad for him.
Nah, she jealous.
The thing is, he doesn't have a girlfriend, and to my knowledge, we're both happy with our friendship. We're both single and not really been talking to anybody, and it's just how we've always been. And I don't see anything wrong with it, but now because of what Sarah's saying, I'm starting to second guess myself. I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable, but at the same time, I don't want to feel like I have to change how I interact with him just because it's making others uncomfortable. He's also never expressed any discomfort with my touchiness and just as touchy, so I don't see any problem. So now I'm wondering, am I the a-hole for being so affectionate with my best friend? Should I tone it down a bit because it's making other people uncomfortable and according to Sarah, not fair to him? Or is it really not that big of a deal?
I mean, if that's how y'all have always been, it's not that big of a deal, but if you're really concerned, it just takes a simple conversation with him. And Sarah was the friend?
Yeah.
Sarah's just jealous.
Edit. He's not a celibate. He sleeps around, just not talking to anybody in a serious way.
Yeah, so if he doesn't care, or if you want to be sure, it ain't hard to just have a simple conversation. Be like, hey, this was brought to my attention. Just wanna check in with you, see how you feel.
Yeah, someone commented, either Sarah has some feelings for him or knows something you don't.
Yeah. To me, it sounds like jealousy.
That's what I'm saying. You good for another shorter one?
Yes.
Okay. Because I can't tell how much longer you got on like that one. I know you had that black line, but I just don't know how long that takes.
It can vary.
Am I the a-hole for convincing my girlfriend to abandon her child so we can be together? Yes, I don't even have to Yes.
Alrighty.
This got removed on Am I the a-hole, so let me try again here. This is on Am I the a-hole relationships.
Okay.
I, 32M, have been dating my girlfriend, 28F, for a little over 2 years. When we first met, she was a single mom to a 7-year-old boy from a previous relationship. She never planned on being a mother and had him due to unfortunate circumstances. She's always been upfront that she felt trapped by her motherhood and didn't have much of a bond with her son. As we got more serious, she started expressing how much she wanted a fresh start, a life where she wasn't held back by her past. She felt guilty about it, but admitted that raising her son alone had taken a huge toll on her, mentally and financially. I told her if she truly felt that way, she should consider other options, including giving full custody to her ex, who has always wanted more involvement, or even a close relative like our mother, who has her son for a majority of the time anyway due to her job. He had been asking for it for a while, and she just didn't seem ready to be a mom. She told me she didn't feel like she was cut out for it. And after hearing how much stress it was causing her, I thought giving him a stable home with his dad would be the best for everyone. After a lot of discussion and hesitation, which lasted months, she had finally made the decision to give full custody to her ex. Moved to a new city with me. Her company had opened up a new branch there, so she had to move anyway and start over. She says she feels relieved, like a weight has been lifted off her shoulders, but now everyone in her life is calling her a terrible person, saying I manipulated her into abandoning her child, even though I never first forced her. They call me a villain for convincing her. Now, a few weeks later, her son called her. He was crying. He said he missed her and didn't understand why she wasn't there anymore. Hearing that completely crushed her. She's been really upset, and honestly, I'm torn up too. I thought I was helping, but now I'm questioning everything. I feel like I made the wrong decision, like I pushed her into something that's hurting both of them. That's the end of it.
Well, I mean, yes and no. Because if that child had been with her for so long...
At the time of abandonment, he would be 9.
Yeah, so that child had been with her for so long that
Yes.
he's going to feel abandoned and hurt, and like his mother doesn't want him, which, I mean, she didn't.
But still.
But putting that on a child is wild.
Like,
You knew the consequences of your actions when you did the giggity. Doesn't matter if it was
well,
unwilling.
yeah, I'll say, because
You knew the consequences, and there are ways to not have that by means of adoption or other means that I'm not going to say on YouTube. There are ways of getting around it. It's not... You didn't have to keep it.
You know, the comments are saying both people suck here.
Yeah, I do.
Because it wasn't his place to, because he's not the dad.
No, it's not his place.
What people are saying is that what it seems like is that you both just wanted to leave and then like go on your merry way with no responsibilities. That's gonna hurt that kid, and he's gonna have scars he will not be able to heal from that. Even if she comes back into his life. That's something that he can always hold over her head. Remember that time you abandoned me?
Because now, especially if she grows a pair and realizes that she made a mistake, that kid is going to do nothing but resent her. That kid wants nothing to do with her anymore. Like,
even if she doesn't like do that, the kid's still not going to have anything to do with her if she comes back or not. Because, like, adopted kids, eventually they might want to meet their parents just to figure out why. But when you're 7 and you lose your mom when you're 9 because she just left with some random dude. Because it doesn't even say how long they were. 2 years is how long they were together. So, it's some random dude because you don't remember much when you were that young. But that's something you're always going to remember, is that your mom left you. Whether she comes back or not.
And the fact that she didn't want to come back, like, that's a thing too. Like, you are psychologically hurting that child. Majorly. And all because you wanted a quote-unquote fresh start with no responsibility except for your job. And your new man's, or woman. I don't remember if it said specifics.
30M with a 28-year-old F.
Okay, so your man's. Like, wild. I mean, like I've said, so many other ways. If you didn't want the responsibility, you didn't want the child. Don't wait till it's 9. Wild. Absolutely wild.
Have it for adoption after it's conceived. That's what a lot of people do. Especially if they don't think they're going to be a good mother.
If you don't think you're fit, and you don't want to... thing I'm not going to say on YouTube. There's plenty of people that want to adopt a baby. Like, right after they're born. There's plenty of people
that can't have babies that want to have a baby to...
Exactly. That's why I said there's plenty of people that would adopt it right then and there.
Yeah, like, or couples that physically cannot have one because they don't have set parts.
Or couples that were trying for years and couldn't have one in general. Like, there are so many reasons why people want to adopt babies. It's not hard to find someone that wants to adopt a baby. It's harder to find someone that wants to adopt older kids. A baby, no.
Yeah, so it just all depends on the people. Because some people would rather have like an older child, that way they can give them a better life than what they were dealing with. Because
That's what I want to do.
adopted homes are apparently not the best places, like foster homes.
Mm-hmm.
And then, because that makes it where the kid doesn't feel wanted when they're like, let's say 12, and they're still not being adopted, or they've been passed around to houses.
Mm-hmm. I've accepted these wings are not going to be the same. I hope you guys accept it. If you don't, I'm sorry. I don't care. Love y'all, but it's not the end of the world. That's the beauty of makeup. Mistakes are not the end of the world.
Bob Ross.
Alright. I am going to do finishing touches off camera, and I will be right back. And I'm back with a finished look. I think the lashes make this look, but that's just me. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And I will see you guys next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye!